AllBall TV. They scared, but I'm not. They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.
Speaking of big, Brian Windhorst was on ESPN.
No parts of that. No parts of that. Nope. Not doing it.
I'm sorry.
I'm not doing
Yes,
it.
baby. Yes. Yes.
Lord have mercy. I am not doing it. Nope.
Brian, I recall a year ago, Brian Windhorst of ESPN.
Get your ass back on screen, OG.
We moved along. He was asking what's going on over there.
Is Giannis going to extend? I don't know. And that uncertainty is what the league is watching right now. The New York Knicks, for example, they got 97% of their attention on the Miami Heat. 3% of their attention on Milwaukee. What's going on over there? And now, I was in Cleveland with LeBron James. LeBron James was a non-renewable resource for Cleveland. When he walks out the door, he's not coming back. In Milwaukee, Giannis Antetokounmpo is a...
OG. Now
yes.
I can't unsee the Penguin from that. Now I can't unsee.
My man Oswald Cobblepot.
Now I can't unsee it. That's crazy.
Giannis ends up signing an extension for 3 seasons, but he goes on to say money is not important.
Contract right now, because money is not important. A lot of fucking money is important. So I'm gonna sign it next year. But no, at the end of the day, again, it doesn't make sense. It does not make sense for me to sign it right now. I gotta, always look what's the best for me and my family and for my situation. But at the end of the day, I want to be in Milwaukee back for the rest of my career as long as we are winning.
That brings me to this. Giannis trade rumors. Knicks whole NBA watching Bucks star. That's what going back to what Brian Windhorst just said. But the most interesting part to me, it would be borderline malpractice for the Bucks front office to not run things back with Antetokounmpo and Lillard adjusting their supporting cast as needed. Barring some unforeseen change of heart, it will be at least the summer of 2025 before Bucks fans should worry about Antetokounmpo pushing for a change of scenery. I don't know why they're guessing 2025. And one more deal. I don't have my thing ready. I'm sorry. But they did report that Julius Randle Ian Begley was reporting that Julius Randle is not going to sign an extension in August. That's what he's predicting. I don't know if it's any sources, but sometimes with that whole reporter game, they'll hear something and they can't use the source. So they'll act like it's a prediction. But he's saying Randle ain't signing an extension this August. You heard Giannis there. I don't care about the money. And I want to be here as long as we're winning. That's that old school LeBron kind of conversation for me. If he's bringing that in here to New York, flee. Do you want Giannis here trading for Julius Randle and a bunch of draft picks?
Can I talk to you about this without my OG on the screen? Because all he's just going to do is look at me. He got it somewhere. Because all he's going to do is look at me in disgust. He's going to just be looking at me like, what are you talking about, Flea? Come back, OG, please. We need you, baby.
I'm a team player, bro. Listen, let's go.
Because all he's going to do is make faces and look at me like I'm crazy.
I'm going to shock y'all, too. I can't wait to hear what you got to say.
I don't even think you blink. You don't second guess. You don't sleep on. If Giannis is available and there's a notion that he would like to play in New York City, yes, absolutely. You make that trade 10 times out of 10. I don't even think you even think about, do I retain Julius Randle? All the sentimental value and what he did, all that shit goes out the window when you have the opportunity to get that type of player. All that stuff goes out the window, right? We welcoming back Tim Thomas. So we'll see you when you come back. But stop acting like this is like this is sacrilegious to even think about moving Julius Randle for Giannis. If Giannis is, I'm not even gonna make this long. The long and the short of it is, Giannis is available and they're willing to deal with the New York Knicks. Yes, there's nothing that's gonna hold up a deal for Giannis Antetokounmpo but Jalen Brunson. That's where it stops for me. Julius Randle, here you go. Mitchell Robinson, here you go. You want to trade the coach? Here you go. Tibbs, we'll see you later. We'll figure it out after that.
Thanks.
I'm over exaggerating at that point, but I'm just putting emphasis on the fact that a guy that's still in his prime, we're not getting a guy that's outside of his prime, right? I understand OG reservation. The last two NBA playoffs, Giannis has not been able to make it. Like he makes it through the season, but can't make it out the first. He got hurt in the first round last year against Miami. He got hurt right before the playoffs against Indiana. So I understand that reservation. But again, this dude is young, and smack dab in the middle of his prime, has championship pedigree. You're not going to have to beg him to play. He's a guy that I think absolutely fits the culture that we're building. You know, I'm talking about gamers. I'm talking about guys that care about winning, guys that care about, you know, the structure of the team. So, no, I love Julius Randle, but no, I cannot hold up a deal if Giannis is available and he wants to be in blue and orange. Julius is going fax, email, whatever you got to do to get it done immediately, get it done. We ain't got to think about this.
So for me, where there's smoke, there's fire. I think I've said numerous times. That's why these NBA playoffs this season was going to be interesting, because a lot of these matchups people wasn't expecting to happen until the conference finals. So you had Giannis, the Embiids, the Kawhis, the Paul Georges, the KDs. These guys is all losing in the first. Devin Booker. These guys are all losing in the first and second round. When you expect these matchups to be either in the finals or the conference finals. So it makes a lot of players unhappy. Giannis is not happy. There's only one thing I'm scared about if he comes to the New York Knicks. Him playing alongside Jalen Brunson, because him playing alongside Dame Lillard isn't successful. So it seemed like it needs a little work. But Flea, I agree with you. The other day I said something, I was in my feelings. I was dead wrong. I'm trading the whole team for Giannis. Now, I think Giannis is perfect for Tibbs, and Tibbs is perfect for Giannis. Two workhorses. Only problem is we got to bring the Nassus with us. Hey, we got to do what we got to do. But also Giannis, from a business standpoint, it is about money. It is about legacy, wealth. It is about the future. Giannis in the blue and orange, his jersey sales is higher. His sneaker sales are higher. Commercials, movie star. It will be the Milwaukee Bucks to the 100th power. So Giannis being a smart young man, I'm pretty sure he's thinking of that as well. My opinion, his days is over in Milwaukee. He did something that people thought couldn't be done. He got them a championship. And this will be the first time, probably in Knicks history, we will be able to get a former MVP and star and champion. And this will be our third superstar we've gotten. Well, maybe four. You got Clyde. All right, you got Bernard King and those guys. But I'm just saying guys that off the gate. Patrick Ewing, Carmelo, Giannis. When it's time and you have an opportunity to get a super duper star, you got to do what you got to do. So get Randle the hell out of here and whatever else they want. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Fabian. I flip-flop. That's why it's called Knicks Rehab. I took my medicine today.
Yeah.
I warned them earlier. What y'all expected? He out here giving you the up-to-date feelings. That's what we doing out here. The barometer of the Knicks fans.
Bipolar. OG said, if you're not bipolar as a Knicks fan, you're not a real Knicks fan. So hey,
that's a fact.
You ain't real.
You're not real.
You ain't real out here, man. Period. I mean, off the top, that would be two top 5, top 6 MVP candidates on the same lineup. Start there. I think he's overrated as a defender, but I think Tibbs is the guy that could really hold on. Let me really see if he's overrated. He's already averaging 12
but he makes
rebounds a game.
the effort.
Not like he's dogging
He
it.
he
That's
he
why.
will he will go get that block shot.
But I would like. I know we probably don't have the time, Fabe, but I would love to hear your deep dive on why you feel, because this is not the first time, second time, or third time. You said that and you're consistent with that. And I've never heard a defensive player of the year be questioned. I mean, aside from Rudy, but a guy that really plays defense. I'm curious, like what doesn't he do?
Well, you know, the last 3 or 4 defensive player of the years, they're all in question for me. Because Marcus Smart, you better hand that trophy with a Drew Holiday. I don't know what they were doing with you. Triple J, that's up in the air for me too. So with Gobert and Giannis, these are the last 4 or 5 guys. I think it's just a tougher era to judge this on for some reason. I think we assume he does, but I've never seen him stay in front of a man like that. I understand what you're saying. Where he can play drop coverage a little bit, rim protect a little bit, but he's not a great rim protector to me. He has those. What he is a playmaker. That's what it is with Giannis. Out of nowhere, when it's crunch time, come on, 16 of 16 free throws. I know I'm alluding to the offense in the championship game 6. That's why we respect Giannis, because we saw when all the say whatever you want about the injuries and everything. He played who was in front of him, and he closed out 4 straight victories against the Phoenix Suns, by the way, in the championship. Let's not forget that. So
50-point game 6.
50-point game 6, but 16 of 16 from the free throw line means when everything on the line, and I'm fully focused on my worst attribute, one of my worst attributes, right? So, but defensively, I don't think he stays in front of his guy like that. Can Tibbs help that? For me, Tibbs is the guy that could really, we never thought of Hartenstein as some super defender, and all of a sudden he's rebounding like this. That's the thing. When the hell has Thibodeau had a Giannis on his team? He ain't never had no super athlete like this. That's scary. So that helps him. And I think this coach can really help him with that. Maybe you can explain to me what he does defensively that I'm missing on. Because remember, we started running down the line. Well, for me, all of us, if Anthony Davis is a top 3 defender, he's level 1, all defense first team. Giannis is second? Yeah, not for me. I don't even think he's third. He might be in 2 levels below. That's not close.
I disagree with that, Fabian. I'm gonna just be brief. He changes games defensively. I've seen him do it numerous times. I'm not talking about on the perimeter guarding a 1 or 2 or nothing like that, but he ain't no pushover. You ain't just going in there with him in the paint, and he gonna go to the top of the backboard and go get that thing. So I understand where you're coming from as far as when they try to make him one of the greatest they've ever seen as far as defense, but he's not a liability. I'll tell you that much. He's not a liability on defense, and he makes the effort. That's what I love about Giannis. He's not going to give up on a play. He's going to work hard, and he will chase you down, and he will go get that block shot. So I disagree with that. I'm not going to put him up there with Anthony Davis, but I'm damn sure not going to put him third slot. No, I'm not doing that.
So and please, I'll pass it back to you. But that's what I mean. If those are the defensive player of the year guys, that's what I'm saying by elite. I see Herb Jones. I go, oh my god. If he had him and Brook Lopez was second in the running last season for defensive player of the year. So you have 2 defensive player of the year caliber guys on your front line.
There too.
And so now you're missing Drew Holiday and you're missing the perimeter guys. And all I'm saying is, all of a sudden, you're not in all the Bucks are bottom 10 in NBA history when you got the big man. You ain't bottom 10. You in the middle of the pack. Anthony Davis got him in the middle of the pack. Wemby drove him from bottom of the barrel to up in the upper bottom.
Brook Lopez took a real big dip pause too. He just all of a sudden stopped playing defense too. So
that's a fact.
Yeah, come on now.
Defense and hitting the perimeter shot, it's like night and day in terms
he turned into cat.
Right. When they were contending, in terms of conference finals, being in the finals, all of that, Brook was amazing for that team. He's completely different player than he was. And I mean, that's obviously he's getting older too, so I got to be fair with that. But he's not the same. I was thinking about this. Maybe we can end with this. I had a question. Would love to hear what y'all have to say. let's say we do go and get Giannis at some point. Maybe not be this year, but that 25 summer. And the pipe dream comes true. He wins us a championship, finals MVP, all that type of stuff. What does that do for his career? Like what in y'all's list, in y'all's how y'all look at players, all that. What does that? Because I'm asking, because even with Giannis, with this championship, multiple MVPs, Defensive Player of the Year, multiple All NBA first teams, right? For some reason, many people feel like Fabian, like you did the other day, AllBall. Like he doesn't get that like jump out the window adulation like he did at one point. Like it's real quiet around him, and he still had an amazing year this year, right before the injury. Still, he's always been consistent since winning. So I'm asking y'all, he brings us one. Where does that put him in the pantheon of greats in terms of this NBA shit?
I love that we ending the show with this. If Giannis comes to the Knicks and wins a championship, that would make him top 15 greatest players all time. For me, that would jump him over Dirk Nowitzki and Kevin Garnett. And that would probably make him, this is going to be a bit much, he might be the greatest Knick of all time.
Leave it up to OG, right, Faye? Leave it up to him.
Hold on. Let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all something. Whatever superstar comes to the Knicks and wins them a championship, I'm telling y'all, that is going to be the most important championship in all of sports history. That's going to supersede all the Dallas Cowboy rings, the Patriot rings, the Lakers Celtic rings. That's going to supersede all of that. And if Giannis comes and do that, gets the finals MVP and do it in a certain fashion, I'm sorry. Listen, this thing gonna be like the Dark Knight. We still is cop cars and anything out here. I'm telling you. Fabian, you got the last word. Am I crazy as usual?
Of course, you crazy.
As that out of hell, you know.
Is one season, first season, no way. Well,
but the magnitude, Fabian, we talking about a championship for the Knicks, bro. For us.
Telling you,
yeah, right. But again, I'm not going back on that. I don't care how smart you guys are, educated you guys, how much you guys educated me. And I'm not going against the team accolade. Is not what jumps somebody up. Giannis already proved to me he's championship material. So I didn't conclude or I answer your question in the last segment. You got to trade Randle for Giannis, by the way, and you trade 10 picks over there. 2 MVPs in the same lineup. You have to do that.
Take them all.
There is no, I'm a little, again, his defense I think is overrated. And to AllBall's point, that dribble handoff, you can't play with Dame. Like with Brunson, that's gonna be tough. They have to figure that out if that's the case. But 2 MVPs, bro, like we cannot look away from that. Where would he? I think I already had him in top 20, and I don't know if I was wilding for that. That's tough. He wins the title, comes to the Knicks. It just proves that he's this guy and he has the right team around him, and he's clutch. Just like with Luka right now, you have the team, no excuses. What are you doing about it? He closed out heavily. That's my trepidation with, or my hesitation with Jason Tatum. Bro, you've been had a squad. What's going on? Because Luka's 26 years old, so is Jason Tatum. What happened? What's your excuse? You got all the skills in the world. With Giannis, he ain't even as skilled as these guys. And he's going bananas. So, I'll be there with AllBall with the greatest Knick of all time shirt, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Greeky Freaky, New York City. I'm gonna have all that. But back in my head, I'm just enjoying my time. You got to win 2-3 in a row to be the best New York Knick ever at that point. Bro, well, let's read what Walt Frazier means to these guys. The way you cannot disrespect Walt Frazier in front of no older guy around me. They go nuts. Are you crazy? He better win 2-3 in a row before you call him the best Knick of all time. Nah, especially you can't just leapfrog Jalen Brunson like that. Not at all.
I don't even lean in the camera. I'm gonna do an AllBall. Like
we both just did that without even. I didn't even know you were doing that.
Nothing, bro. Like
Get us out of here, man, with that nut shit you talking about.
Someone
I
else.
usually say something like that.
Oh my
AllBall
God.
TV. They scared, but I'm not. They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.